Hello everyone, Steve Furrow here with the Kingery team at Mountain to Lake Realty, and today we've got another adventure in real estate. Well, we've got Neal Bosché with us. Neal, appreciate you.
I'm always glad to be here, thank you.
Neal, of course, with Atlantic Bay Mortgage, helping you with all of your mortgage lending needs, right?
Correct, yes. Certainly we've got the traditional mortgage when you want to buy a house. We'll certainly help you get the funds together to buy that home, as well as the other things that we have are the opportunity to refinance
Correct.
a home. So those are some other options for your customers as well.
So, talking about refinancing, let's just talk about that.
Sure.
You know, when we think about refinancing, I think about mortgage rates, and I think about, there's a difference in where my current mortgage is versus where the rates are today, and so maybe it's advantageous for me to refinance to get a lower rate.
Right.
Is that?
Yeah, and I think that there's two types. There's the type of refinance where you're trying to better your rate, and where rates have been for the last year and a half have made a lot of folks consider refinancing, taking that 5 or 6% rate down to what was once maybe in the twos, mid twos, the high twos, has now moved up with the interest rates to up into the 4 rate, the high 3-4 range. So a lot of folks are thinking, well, maybe now's not the time to refinance. But when you look at interest rates now, relatively speaking, they're still at a historic low. And the other thing about the market right now is people's homes are at an all-time high in terms of value.
The appreciation and the wealth that's built up,
yes,
for the value of that home.
Yeah, as the interest rates were at a record low, appreciation has been at a record high in the last year and a half, as much as 20% appreciation. And from what we're seeing, that the houses are going to continue to appreciate, with inventory being low. So the other option is to consider a cash out refinance. So some of your customers may say, gosh, I wish I could find that home, but right now, with the market, I can't get the home that I really want at that point in time. They could consider a refinance to maybe make some changes to their current home and continue to build up the value of that home. The other thing is to maybe pay off some debt to make their monthly payment more affordable. So there's a lot of options to consider when you're looking at a refinance, cash out refinance, I should say.
And I actually had a client here recently that did a cash out refi, and what they did was a part of their aspirations, goals, dreams, whatever you want to call it. They were interested in owning some rental properties, and they felt like he's a contractor, so he's got sort of a back wheelhouse to be able to handle some of those things. So they did a cash out refi with their current home, and they took some of that money and then purchased a second home, or a rental property, if you want to call it that. But it was a home, and they purchased it and actually got everything refurbished, and they got a renter in.
Yeah.
So they're moving forward with that dream, with that goal there.
Yeah, I think that's a great example of another benefit of a cash out refinance. I've got borrowers currently that, they were looking to buy a second home, and they were saying, should I take the money out of the stock market, stocks, bonds, so on and so forth. And they ultimately made the decision to do a cash out refinance on their current home to fund the down payment and the closing costs for a second home down here at the lake. So certainly we're seeing similar to what you're seeing with some of your customers as well.
You bet. That sounds like a great option, and we're able to kind of leave some of those other assets in place and let them continue to grow.
Right.
What is that? We talked about, I heard the 8th wonder of the world. Is that compound interest?
Compound interest. Einstein quoted that as well. So
but that did allow them to kind of leave that stuff alone and take that asset, which was their home, and use that to help them towards the purchase of a second home.
And talking about compound interest, the large majority, and we talked about this on one of our earlier talks, is that the majority of Americans, 83% of their wealth is in their home, and their homes are continuing to grow. We've seen it in the last year and a half. We'll probably see it for the foreseeable future, as long as demand is low and supply, or demand is high, supply is low. Thank you. So,
yeah, well, I mean, I think there are lots of options out there, and that's, when you talk about your investments or your portfolio, if you will. A lot of people, their largest investment or their largest asset is their home.
Yes.
And talking with you and talking about what the options are with the refinance.
Right.
What are your goals and aspirations? Obviously, you've got things you want to accomplish, and refinancing your home may be a way to do that.
Yes. Yeah.
It could be something, just, we talked a lot about the cash out, but I mean, you go back to just simply lowering that monthly payment.
Right.
And so then that maybe frees up some cash to do some other things. I mean, there's lots of options out there.
And that's a great point for the cash out refinance. It's not necessarily what is your current interest rate versus what, how much lower can we get it, is what are your combined monthly payments right now? And, with a cash out refinance, can we pay off some of those high interest credit cards and, cars and so on and so forth, and get the lower monthly payment so that you can start, building some savings as well to do some things in the future. Maybe, take the house that you just made some changes to and trade up on that house.
You bet.
Yep.
Be a great option, and if you're interested in trading up, I'd be glad to talk with you. Certainly that Mountain to Lake Realty and the Kingery team be glad to do that. And if you're interested in talking about your current situation and maybe a refinance or something along those lines is in your future,
Yep.
Neal, I'm sure you'd be glad to talk with them, wouldn't you?
Absolutely, appreciate it. And not only the refinance, but also your traditional mortgages as well, so we can help out with everything.
You bet. So AtlanticBay.com.
Yep, AtlanticBay.com, and applications for me personally, they can go to NealBosché.com and fill out an application, and I'll contact them and we'll talk about what their options are.
Sounds great, Neal. We appreciate you.
Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you guys for joining us, and we're going to let that wrap things up today for this adventure in real estate. We look forward to seeing you next time. Until then, stay safe.